Welcome back to the podcast, folks. This is episode 40 with a chap called Martin Yoxall. Before we crack on, just got to do a couple of sponsor readouts. So a massive thank you to Transfor Limited Digital Solutions. Transfor Digital Consultancy are a design and development consultancy with a passion for creating bespoke digital solutions for everyday challenges. Transfor Digital Consultancy realise that an effective digital solution needs to be integrated with the rest of your business as part of a broader digital strategy. Transfor Digital Consultancy can provide advice on reaching your target audience through social media sites such as Facebook, Twitter. Other types of social media tools are available, which can help improve your search engine placement. An alternative option could be to have a review of your existing digital solutions and that of your competition. Transfor Digital Consultancy are able to identify ways your own site can gain a competitive edge in the marketplace. At Transfor Digital Consultancy, we provide a consultancy clinic if you require advice or guidance regarding an idea that you have or a project. Hosting options start from £30 per year, so why not get in contact and start the journey now? Head to transfor.solutions. That's TRANS, the number 4.solutions. We are also sponsored by TempRocket. TempRocket is a unique, powerful online solution for finding and booking temporary staff. Harnessing the power of online technology, the platform transforms temporary staff recruitment by bringing the three key players, hirers, agencies and contractors, together in one place to deliver a quicker, more efficient solution for all parties 24/7. TempRocket incorporates an innovative online bidding system through which hirers and agencies compare details and costs, then bid for a contractor with the option of making a counterbid, accepting or declining an offer until they find the ideal candidate. Making life easier for contractors and freelancers, creating more business for agencies, and simplifying the recruitment process for the hirer. TempRocket's a win-win-win. Please visit temprocket.com for more information. That's TEMPROCKET.com. Okay then, folks, let's crack on with episode 40 with Martin Yoxall. What a guy, what an inspiration. Enjoy this one. Folks, welcome to Brewtime episode 40, and this week we have Martin Yoxall. How you doing, Martin?
Hi. Hiya.
Right, before we get into it, let's get the important things out of the way. What are you drinking?
I've got a Peroni.
Oh, okay. High caliber, like that.
Yeah,
Class.
yeah. Bit posh down here.
I have a can of Zuber.
Never heard of it.
Me either. It's a chap called David who goes by False Neutral on Instagram, and he's from the Czech Republic, and he sent me, thank you so much, David, he sent me a box load of different Czech beers and sweets and chocolate. Thank you so much, man. So apparently I'm not to drink it. I know, yeah. Apparently I'm not to drink it out the can like a heathen, but I'm going to drink it out the can like a heathen. I'm sorry, David. So there we are. Let's see if this goes all over the... No, it didn't. Right, let's see what this is like. You can't fault Czechs with the beer. I tell you, that is good. It's cracking beer, that. Very nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Right, Martin. Where do we begin? Now, no offence, but there is bound to be a lot of people going, who's this Martin Yoxall? So... Yeah. You got into, well, you followed Teapot for quite a while, and you're actually, thank you so much, you're one of my patrons, you're in the clan. But I didn't realise your situation until I started doing, if you're not following on Instagram, please do, because I need to get to 10,000 and get the swipey up thing.
You must be nearly there.
I think I'm about 40 short, but honestly, I've been like I've had about 200 to go for about the last 2 years. It's just painfully slow. But just before New Year, I decided enough was enough. I'm a complete fat knacker. So I got a second-hand rowing machine from my neighbours, and I started rowing, and I posted up on my Instagram stories every day just saying, right, this is it, time for change. I'm going to start losing weight. Do me a favour, tag me and tell me what you're doing, and that'll give me the impetus to keep going. And loads of people have done it, haven't they? You're one of them. Loads of people every day tag me and post up them out walking, running, cycling, training in the gym, all sorts. And it's a good little thing we've got going on. You started posting up your stuff, and I've got to admit, initially I was like, oh, you've taken a while for that distance. No offence. But then I looked. Then I looked at your profile, and I was like, the bugger's only got one leg. And then I started looking more into it, and now here you are.
Yeah.
So
trouble is, I keep going around in circles.
Awesome. Martin, I do this with everybody, mate. So just to introduce yourself to people that are listening and watching, I'll pass it over to you. What's your name? Where'd you come from?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Martin Yoxall. I'm known as Yoxrex on Instagram. Live in East Sussex, down where Westonsnare used to be. Mm-hmm. I'm an engineer by trade, but I've done various things throughout my life. And I live with my partner, who's just sitting over there. Couple of dogs, no kids, so money for toys. And then, it's basically what I do. So
you are no different. Everyone else I get on here, they never talk about like to me what is the main thing. Like that's the main thing about them. I get people on here that have done amazing trips around the world, done all this amazing stuff, and they never bother mentioning that. They tell me about all this other stuff. Now we're going to get into it anyway about what happened and how you've dealt with it and life and everything like that. But just in a sort of nutshell, what's your situation? What happened?
Right. So when I was 21, it was Boxing Day, and I popped around to my mum and dad's house to say hello. And then I left there, and I thought, I haven't been on the bike for a while. I'll just go sort of long way home. And it was a 30 limit straight road. Car was waiting, facing me to turn across what would be my carriageway into a turning. And as I got there, he turned into me and sort of bumped me. And it was just like a little, and I was still on the bike. But I'd sort of been bumped towards, there's some people waiting to cross the road. And I was sort of heading towards them. So I sort of steered it back into the road, hit the curb, came off, sort of slid down the road a bit. And the first thing I looked at was my hands, because I'd put my hands down to sort of stop me going over and over and over.
Yeah.
And I thought, I looked at my hands. I thought, that's all right, gloves are all in one bit. And then I thought, leg looks a bit funny. I thought I'd broken it and it was tucked underneath. And then, it was just like gory bit. It was just like arterial blood shooting. And it was a bit surreal. So it sort of went into slow motion from that point. It was so obviously my knee had gone into his headlight, and so he'd stopped, and it was just a sort of sheer reaction. And
so it was an amputation basically at your knee, wasn't it?
Straight away, yeah.
Oh.
But it didn't hurt. It was like a bit weird. It was like, this doesn't happen,
Wow.
And there was a petrol station over the road. There was quite a few people about. One of the people who was waiting to cross the road was a nurse, so she came over and tourniqueted my leg.
Wow.
A couple of others, they were being sick because the bottom half of my leg landed at their feet. So I don't know, it just went into slow motion. There was no pain. It was just a bit like I was going into shock. Mm-hmm. And there was a doctor that lived just down the road, and he was a voluntary guy that he would jump in his car with a little green light and go to our RTO. Yeah. So he came, he was literally a quarter of a mile down the road. So he came whizzing up, luckily, because he put drips in my arms, which probably why I'm here. I think I lost six pints of blood or something.
You lost 6?
Yeah.
They say, is it not 8 is end of, well, I mean, yeah.
Very, very, very nearly didn't make it. And then I was near Aldershot, and they took me to what was used to be the old Shot Military Hospital there. Just another fortunate thing, because they're quite used to dealing with. Yeah. So I had a good surgeon. I don't really remember a lot of it. I remember getting to the hospital, but I was going. It's a bit weird because I was going where my eyes were looked like two dots out here. You know, I was inside, like looking out, and it was all coming in. And they kept asking me questions, and in the end, I just really couldn't be asked to answer them. It was just like that's how it felt to me. But that was me
sort of shutting down.
And then I remember the mask going on my face. That was it. I woke up. I've been in ICU. I woke up on the ward. It was middle of the night, I think. And I knew it wasn't going to be there. So.
Wow.
Wow. So I was, it was the only injury. I had full leathers on. Didn't have armour in them days. It was a bit of a, you know, you just like had leathers, didn't you? Over denim cut off over the top and DM boots sort of thing. And it was the only injury I had. So, because that's, come on.
What strikes me there is just, I mean, not just the seriousness of the incident, but it's the fact there's an off-duty nurse standing there. There's the doctor literally down the road. I mean,
I probably wouldn't be here if I wasn't.
No, I mean 6 pints of blood. I mean
that's what they had to put back in to get me to normal.
God, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Wow. So that basically sent you down a different path in life. Then I mean, how did life change after that?
Yeah, it was a bit. I mean,
I've just heard myself say that question, and you think,
it's all right.
How do you think life changed after that? But I mean,
no, but you'd be surprised. There's lots of things that you might not even think about until it happens to you,
right?
But you kind of like, because I woke up, and then the next day, my mum and dad came into and I was gutted for them because that's not what they expected. But, their sort of Christmas and stuff, and then my brother came in. But my dad used to be in the RAMC, so my surname is not that usual. So there was a lot of officers that were at the hospital sort of dealing with me that knew my dad. Yeah. So they sort of put two and two. So I got looked after, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, my first 21, you kind of think, oh, you know, like girlfriends, that's going to be a bit weird.
Yeah.
What does an artificial leg even look like? I didn't even know. You know, I've never seen one. You kind of have visions of Douglas Bader, you know, wooden, sort of like walking like a wooden top sort of thing. Yeah.
Well, you've got the beard for a pirate, so you know.
I didn't have that then. I trimmed it today because I didn't want us looking like two tramps talking shit on a park bench, you know.
Oh mate, I don't know. Did you see that post I put on Instagram stories when I'd finished my rowing? My barnet, my head at the moment, folks. If you're not aware, it's terrible.
You get the light right. Yeah.
I had Mr. Fish, Chronicles of Mr. Fish. I had Mr. Fish on a podcast, and we drunkenly came up with this bet between us. I can't even remember if it was for money or not, but we basically were trying to say, I think he was trying to tell me that he's bald by choice and he just shaves it. And I was like, bollocks, we're both just bald, accept it. And he said, I bet I can grow more hair than you. So that was it. So we decided on Halloween we'd shave our heads totally, and then we'd see who could grow the most hair by April Fool's Day. So fast forward to February now, and I have a couple of, literally about 6 wisps of hair on the top of my head, and he's got a full-on afro. So
I've not seen him. So so you've got another 2 months nearly, haven't you?
But I can't. I've already said to him I've got to admit defeat because next weekend I have to go to the new TV studio, the motorbike TV studio. I've got to go there to do like the publicity shots and pro reels and all that sort of stuff, and I can't go with this. So I'm gonna have to. I mean, at the back, it's
I think you should do that. I think you should go for it. Or do a cousin it.
Yeah, it's terrible. So yeah, that I'm gonna have to admit defeat on that. I can't even remember how much the bet was for. God.
Yeah, I wouldn't be any better off. I don't think.
Right, so we've got a little bit of background to you then. How about I'll do the usual. We'll go onto the social media, onto Patreon and all the other things. We'll just start going through folks' questions and see where it takes us.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, beautiful, lovely job. So, as usual, first one we'll go to is patreon.com/TeapotOne. First question we have here is from Stuart Bailey. Hi Martin, Bruce's channel motto is live your life. What else do you want to achieve in the future such that when the time comes you can say without any regrets, I live my life? That's a good question.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, good. I've deliberately not read any of them. I've kept away from the thing because I thought I don't want to prepare any answers. I just want to say it how it is. So I quite fancy doing a skydive.
Oh yeah.
So, well, but that comes in handy for the trim teapot jumping yacht thing because I think you have to be 100 kilos or less.
For sky, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So I'm at the moment 104.
Ooh.
So I'm nearly there. I always weigh myself with my leg on, simply because I can't stand still enough on the scales for them to register. so I don't, because obviously it weighs more than my actual leg. So the number doesn't really matter to me. It's the going down.
Yeah, I get you.
So I think at my heaviest I was 116 and a half. So
were you? How tall are you?
6'3". So.
Okay, same height as me. Yeah. Okay, then yeah. So, I think I was about 136 kilograms was my heaviest, and it was like, okay, I need to shed some timber.
So if I could get below 100, I'd quite fancy doing a tandem skydive.
Have you done any other sort of extreme stuff?
No, I did scuba diving for a bit with one leg. I had a little leg made to do scuba diving.
What's that? Is that what I take it that has like a flipper attached to it? Then does it?
No. It had like a foot, but you could. There was a pin in the ankle, and you could pull the pin out, rotate the foot so it goes pointy, and then push the pin back in, so it locked it. And it didn't have any magic stuff in it. It was just a plastic sort of leg, and then you could lock the knee straight, and then you could fin along, sort of thing. So, but. Yeah, I broke that leg on a jet ski, leaping up a wave. It just snapped in half.
I don't do that with two legs.
I heard a massive crack, and I didn't think anything of it. And I thought, I broke the jet ski. And then when I came back to the beach, as I stepped off, the bottom half of my leg stayed where it was. I got off to go to walk, and then there was nothing there. So I just went to, and I just face planted in the thing. And people screamed at that.
Do you ever play up? Do you ever play up to it? Like not let on you've got a fake leg.
I thought that was pretty obvious, but.
So in terms of the artificial legs, then I mean, pardon my ignorance, but in my head, I know you can get like animatronic ones now, like robotic ones that do all sorts. Do you have anything like that, or do you have different legs for different occasions, or?
No, you get. So I have the one that I wear all the time is a microprocessor knee, and that's like adaptive suspension, where it alters itself all the time.
Right.
So as you walk, it's monitoring. It's got an IMU in it and everything, so it knows where it is, what direction it's going, forward or back, how much weight's going through it, and it'll adjust the stepper motors for the hydraulics all the time. So if I want to walk fast, it will let you walk fast. If you want to walk slower, it will.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, it's quite a trick. And that was a trial, so I've been on it a year. And I think it's brilliant. It was like at the next level.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like, when you get your BMW with a ESA. That's how it felt like.
GS, the best bike in the world. That one you mean?
The GSA, yeah.
GSA. Oh man! All right, so going back to Stuart's question, then, free fall skydive. That is your.
Yeah, I think that's achievable, and then I'll go on from there. I don't tend to have a stack of things I want to do.
I know you've
I
done
quite like to
scuba.
do that was when I was a lot younger. I only stopped because it was quite a lot of money. There's only so many things you can do. So motorbikes is my prime.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on. Let's go on to the bikes then. So, what was that you were riding when you had the accident?
That was a Honda CBX 750 FE.
Oh, okay.
So it was had twin square headlights and a half fairing.
Right. Before my time, that Martin. Before my time, I was a late comer to bikes.
C-Reg, 1986. It was. That's when it was made. But yeah, that was my first. I got a bank loan. Bought that. All the other ones I'd had had been like sheds, basically, like old sheds, and like a 350 LC and stuff.
How long was it then after your accident? How long before you got back on a bike?
It wasn't that long. My friend had a CBR 600. The first model was all the jelly mold round. I think it was about 2 months because I got my leg.
2 months?
Sort of walk. Yeah. I was in hospital 11 days. So as soon as the stitches came out, that was it. There's no need for me to be there. And they'd weaned me off the morphine. So, and it was hurting at this point. Let's just say it wasn't a painless experience. But so I went home. So I got my first leg, and I could sort of walk about. It wasn't brilliant, but I was upright and walking. Which, when you've been 8 weeks lying down all the time, it's quite knackering. Yeah. He let me have a go on his CBR. And I wanted to have a go because I thought if I get on it and I go, oh no, this is scary. Mm-hmm. I know at that point I'll give up. Yeah. And I won't want to. If I just went, the sensible thing is not to ride anymore, but I want to, I'll always have that sort of yearning. Yeah. But I got on it. I loved it. So I thought, right, I'm going to get one. But obviously, I had to get back to work, get all that, my leg. It takes a while for your residual limb to shrink back down because it's all swollen. Okay. And the legs, the sockets. So I fit into a socket. The first one was metal, and you had to wear woolly socks on your leg to sort of pack it out. Yeah. And as it shrunk down, you just put another sock on, but it was like waggling a sausage in a bucket sometimes. There's no control or anything. So that took 6 months probably to get to that stage. Okay. And then I had my early legs were held on with a belt because they would just drop off otherwise. Then you get a suction socket, which is a plastic one. And they're quite expensive to make then because they're molded to you. It's like a plaster cast of you, and then they make it. And if the socket's not right, it doesn't matter what you got underneath. You're not going to walk on it. It's painful. So they have to wait for your body to shrink back to normal size and the muscle to be as sort of normal size. Yeah. And then you sort of build up the other muscles that you're using more of and stuff. So it takes a good 6 months. And then in that time I had to pass my car test because I didn't have a car license. So I did that. I had to buy a car. So I didn't leave a lot of money for a motorbike. And I didn't want to, because my parents are going loopy. That's the word. So I sort of waited until I left home again because I'd gone back home for sort of convalescence. And then one side, and that's the other thing, the court case for the money. So he was at fault. He was done for undue inattention. Then the court case for the damages, that took 6 years. 6 years? It takes a long time. And it actually went to court and they settled it on the first day. And it was booked for a week. And they settled lunchtime the first day, made an offer. And then it's a bit of a gamble then, whether you take the offer or go for more. And so, I took it because 6 years, it's really draining, all this going on. I bet, man, yeah. So I didn't do too bad. I bought a house and stuff. So bought the Ferrari, job done? No. But that's when I went to the motorbike shop, when I got my house. And I went in there with the best intentions of buying something commutery, upright.
Go on, what'd you get?
As Kawasaki ZX10 B1.
Good man. Good man.
And so then I had it adapted and stuff like that. So after that, I didn't bother with a normal bike. I just got whatever I wanted, really.
Oh, mate, that does make me smile. Forgive me if I'm I don't know if I'm maybe being a bit coarse or whatever, but you strike me as a type of person that's got a very like a military type sense of humour. You see the funny side in a lot of things, but if I get out of order, just tell me. But I love the fact that the thing you buy with your court payout after losing your leg is another motorbike.
Yeah. It was a cracking bike, to be fair. The salesman was really worried as well, and they all came out when I had to ride off as well. The worst thing I wanted, because I'm like, ooh.
Everyone's watching.
Yeah, so, and I sort of rode off.
How do you have to adapt the bike then? How do you? Which leg was it that you lost?
My right leg, so it's the back.
You're
brake.
right. It's a back. You never use the back brake. You'd be all right.
No, but technically, I have to have it adapted because my license states that I've got to be able to use all the controls.
You just use a thumb brake or a thumb brake, yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha. But I have bought bikes and not bothered, because
he's not DVLA. He's not. Honestly, he's not.
And the GSAs, it does it for you, doesn't it? When you squeeze the front lever, it decides.
Does, yeah.
So I don't bother with that. Yeah. So that does it for me, and I've got a Kawasaki Versys, which has a thumb brake.
All right. I take it whenever you come to a stop, you always have to make sure you lean left then.
Slightly. You get used to it, I suppose. It's normal to me now. But yeah, it only gives me any jip is if it's windy as a crosswind, and it's blowing that way. So it's blowing into my prosthetic side. I have to kind of lean more into it.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sort of letting the bike over, but then it's really straining on my legs. So if it's like a long light and my legs going,
blimey.
That's not very often. And yeah, the GSA, the side stand's quite awkward to get out, I find. So that I have to put my prosthetic leg down and then sort of flick it out. So yeah, that's a little bit. It's not iffy, but yeah, I could see it going over that way at some point.
It didn't even occur to me that you would about the side stand. That didn't even occur to me.
Yeah.
You will have to weight bear with your right leg to put the side stand down.
Yeah, and it does. It does. The MPK one, the microprocessor one. If I stand up with my leg bent at any angle and stay still for like a second, it locks. So you put that down, and then as long as you've got weight going through it, some weight, it will lock the knee, so it won't collapse.
Incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, and then you just take weight off. So I can stand up on the pegs and ride along, but it can't do that. It can't absorb shocks.
Yeah,
because it's locked itself. So then it's So
no off-roading then. Oh.
No, I wouldn't say no. That's another thing I fancy having a go is the BMW off-road school.
Do you?
Yeah.
BMW, if you're watching this,
I have talked to them at the show.
What an opportunity!
Yeah, and they weren't bothered at all.
Were they not?
No, they said no, that's not an issue. He says we worked around it. He said we had one guy.
Oh right, okay, and that's it.
Put a lever on some other side for him, and they did.
Yeah.
So yeah, they sort of did bat on it. So.
I tell you, if you're serious about that, I will. I'll put a word in if you want, because I've got a contact with the Beamer PR bloke.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
And if you fancy it, that could be a. If you want, I can come and film it if you want.
Yeah, that'd be good. I want to film pinned underneath all the time. Yeah.
Hey, you'll do better than I will. I'll promise you that.
Nah.
Right, let's go on to the next question because I've just seen who it's from. Have a guess.
Pete English?
That's the one.
Yeah.
Hi, Martin, and welcome to the now famous podcast club. What adaptations have you made to your bike? Oh, we've pretty covered this, haven't we? What adaptations have you made to your bike, if any? And my father, who also has one leg, he tells us and everyone he meets he can still wiggle his missing toes. Is he talking bollocks?
Maybe he's got a special leg, I don't know. Yeah, there's different adaptations you can have. I have had my first adaptation. It was a valve that split the pressure when you squeeze the front lever. So the ZX10 had that. Mm-hmm. But I always like having them separate. So I've always gone for having it on the handlebars, but you could have it on your foot, on your left foot, behind, do it with your heel or something like that. So there's lots of different ways.
Yeah.
It's quite an easy thing to do because you just run an extra line. The bikes with ABS is a bit more difficult because you've got to run it round, and they tend to have metal fittings that go into the ABS bit. So on my Versys, I had to run from the handlebar down to where the foot would be, put it onto a splitter there because the standard brake pipe comes off of that, goes up to the ABS pump, and then comes out of that and goes back down to the caliper.
What, did you do all that yourself?
Yeah, it's just only taking it off, and then it's quite handy because I engineer. There's people.
Of course, you're an engineer, aren't you?
So I either make it myself or I get the guy to say, "Oh, can you just turn this up?"
Yeah. I was just thinking to myself, sorry to interrupt. I was just thinking as you were chatting that there must be like specialised companies out there that adapt motorbikes. Because certainly they do cars, don't they? So there must be companies that do motorbikes.
You'd be surprised, not really. There's the NABD, which is National Association for Bikers with a Disability. Mm-hmm. They will give you a grant if you lose a limb to adapt your bike, and they have kits. So they source them in from somewhere. So that's a good point of call for anyone that has anything. You don't have to lose a limb. You could just have weak knees or whatever.
So that's the NABD.
Yeah.
I'll put links in the description, folks.
So they were quite good, but I came across them after I'd sorted it out. But it would have been handy because at the time you didn't have social media and stuff like that. It was a word of mouth or whatever. So I had to sort of sort it out myself.
Yeah.
But you can buy thumb rear brakes now, like anywhere.
Because a lot of the racers have thumb brakes, don't they?
Yeah. So if you've got clip-ons, you get the ones that clamp onto the fork leg and you just run that underneath. Or because I've got handlebars, there's not so many other ones that go to the handlebars, but there's a few, but they're bloody expensive.
Are they?
Start at 400 probably and go up to 900 and something.
Good God, wow.
Yeah. So, and there's another one, there's Clicktronic. They make so it's like the front brake and it's got two levers. So you can have the clutch and brake or back brake, front brake, but they're about £1,000 or something.
Blimey. Good God. Yeah. And if you get the Touratech one, it's £2,000.
Yeah, they do. But that's where the NEBD come because they will help you. They will, even if they paid half for a grant, you're still quitting. So with the wiggly toes,
I'm interested in this one. Yeah,
he's not bullshitting. Can I wiggle my toes? I can have the sensation that I'm doing it. So when I first lost my leg, I could feel the sheets on my feet, even though I only had one foot.
Wow.
Then I've got a lot of phantom pains. So you can feel your foot and it's got something stabbing in it quite painfully. And then over the years, it comes nearer to you. So the pain is like halfway down my shin, but it's in my foot, in my head. I think you can feel, because your nerve endings are still there. They're still firing.
Yeah, they have to reprogram and recalibrate.
Yeah, and some people suffer from phantom pains quite badly for quite a long time. But over the years, mine's got less and less. I hardly get any now. Get the odd one if I'm tired or stressed or something. It sets it off, but I have to learn to relax because it makes you tense up because it's really painful. But there's nothing you can do about it. You can't rub it better. It's not there.
So I suppose it's a question of reprogramming your brain and your body, isn't it, to deal with the new norm.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I've had 33 years without it. So I've had longer without it than with it. So I'm over the hump.
Over the hump. Well, mate, you've got a cracking attitude. I mean, but I suppose what else can you do? You know, you just you just have to deal with it.
I did have dark times when I was younger because it's. I mean, I don't give a shit now. I wear shorts and I've got a cover that goes on it, so people point or look or stare. It doesn't bother me, but it did then, big time. So yeah, you have to sort of get over that bit of it.
Yeah, I bet. Right, shall we move on to the next one there? Next question. We have Mark Fulcher. How you doing, Fulch? Evening, me ducks. So, to you both, we've all fucked up in our lives and inevitably had to suffer the consequences. I've always said, if you've never fucked up, you've never done out. So which was your biggest fuck up and what were the consequences of this? Biggest mistake in life. Biggest cock up.
My biggest cock up would be I married the wrong person and that got expensive. So
I think there's many people out there going, yep.
Yeah. So I suppose the usuals. I suppose everyone fucks up, don't they? It's some sort of
part of life, isn't it?
Yeah. As long as you learn from it, I think that's part of it, isn't it? If you keep doing it, something's not right, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're just banging your head against a brick wall. But, so
you'll have to excuse Fulch's bluntness, his language. He's northern. They're a bit uncouth, these northerners.
That's all right.
What's he say? He's got something else written here. He says, keep up the good work, Bruce. Hope to see you soon. Sarah's looking forward to hosting. Fulch is a family friend. Him and his wife Sarah are family friends of ours. Obviously he follows here as well. We'll be up to see you as soon as we can, Fulch. Don't you worry.
Are you supposed to answer these questions as well? Is this all me?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I suppose I should. Yeah, I tried to body swab that one. Thanks very much, Martin. Biggest fuck up. Oh, blimey.
Not blowing your speedo or blowing your speedo out, surely.
Yeah, but, you know, I think people have said, no, because it sent me down this path. And I tend to, I've become a bit of a hippie since, how long are we into the podcast? I'll mention it. Since my trip, I've definitely become much more of a hippie. And, well, not a hippie, I don't mean it offensive, but you know what I mean? I've very much adopted the mindset that what will be in life will be, but I think you have certain control as to what happens in your life, but I think things also have a habit of happening for a reason, and you know, it's like junctions in your path, isn't it? Things happen, you get to a junction and you go that way or you go that way, and it's just that as life progresses, you know. And I think in my early days, there's things like, I've mentioned it before, I used to play rugby to a good level, and all I ever wanted to do was play for Scotland, and I finally got to that stage of trialling for Scotland, and I didn't make that trial, but you know, I'm sure that if I'd put the groundwork in and kept going, I would have. And I didn't. I just sort of went, and then just went on to beer and women, and that was it. Rugby just sort of disappeared off my horizon. So that's something that I've thought about a fair bit in life and thought, I wonder what would have happened. I trialled with Jason White, who then became the Scotland captain and the British Lions captain, and he's a mate. But I trialled and played with him all through school and representative level, and obviously he went down that path where he was going. I was working the doors in Glasgow, watching him going, you're off to New Zealand now with the British Lions. Oh, great.
But do you think he's sitting there now and he's going, if I hadn't done that, I would have ridden around the world on a sports bike?
Well, this is it, because, you know, life took a different course in my 20s, and in my 30s I ended up down in London and then the old Bell, and, you know, now I'm living the dream. I'm doing what I want to do now, which is, I'm loving it, you know. But I mean, cock-ups in life. I'm very much like what you said. It's just cock-ups are it's just you trying things, isn't it? And if they don't work out, they don't work out. You got to learn from it. So,
yeah, and then move on. Don't dwell on it. So it's probably why I can't remember that many. But other than that, I'm on. I bet I wouldn't be here now. So
exactly, my mates from the past. Missus. Exactly. Yeah. This is the thing, isn't it? Yeah, you've now got the life that you have. I was just going to say that there's probably a lot of my mates who've known me for years are going, what about the time you did this and the time you did that?
Yeah.
It's always
I'm sure I've got the same.
Yeah.
There's some I wouldn't incriminate myself.
But they could have been a friend. A friend did something. What did a friend do?
Yeah, allegedly.
Nah, don't go there. Don't go there.
No, I was just thinking about it, and I was the words were in my head. And I was like, don't go there, Mike.
I've got a fantastic story that involves the Clapham Grand, which is an old nightclub in Clapham. A stolen kid's bike and Clapham Junction railway station, but I cannot put that over the air. My mate's Blackhead in Chutney. If you're listening or watching this, you'll remember exactly what happened. But anyway, next question, David Hemmings. Hi Martin, what a brilliant story, and well done you with everything that you've achieved to this point. What's your next big goal in life?
Well, aside from the skydiving, I want to tour Norway with Josie. So I think that'd be that'd have to be a 3-week easily, wouldn't it? So.
Easy. People don't appreciate how big Norway is.
Yeah, and getting there as well.
Yeah, that's it.
Although have you can get your bike shipped out, can't you? You can fly out now.
Oh, can you?
Yeah,
I suppose you could. Yeah, you could pretty much do anything. Yeah, I'm going to Norway in September. I've got a 3-week trip in Norway, Finland, and Sweden. So going up to Nordkapp and excuse me. I think we're. Yeah, I totally forgot about it. I agreed to it 2 years ago and sort of paid my ferry money to my mates, and they reminded me before Christmas that it's a year to go. Well, it would have been September time, a year to go to the trip, and I was like, "Yeah, what trip?" And turns out I've agreed to go to Norway. So I don't know too much about it. That was a fun conversation.
I've just watched YouTube stuff on it, and it just looks fantastic.
Mate, it's awesome. It really is awesome. Give yourself at least 3 weeks just to enjoy it and get as much as you can out of it. But it's expensive, man. Really expensive. Yeah,
I'm kind of thinking it'll time in with my tax-free lump sum from the retirement pot. So
happy days.
Otherwise, you just won't do it. Really, so.
Well, apart from Norway, then, where else? You got anywhere else that you'd quite fancy going?
Yeah, it's a tricky one, though. Because you could say like the stands, the Kazakhstani type things.
Definitely.
I think that'd just be a solo trip. Couldn't see my lovely pillion sitting there for that long. I don't really. You were saying as well, and it does. I was watching some on YouTube today, and it was like more the UK as well, because we went to Scotland once, but it was quite rushed. Not rushed. It took about a week, but from down here to up there and back in a week is rushed really. So I'd quite like to do it. No motorways, just ziggy zaggy type thing.
Definitely.
It's not. That's. I'd like to do more of that.
That's my plan. Like I as soon as we get the go ahead to be free again, I would love to be able to go and head to the States and head to India and do all this. I mean, I'd love to be able to afford it for starters, but taking money out of the equation, I would love to be able to go and do all that. But I don't know, and I just can't see sort of international travel like that happening this year. I think this year we're going to be restricted to the UK, You might get across into Europe sort of towards the end of the year, possibly. We'll see.
I hope so, because I've got my rescheduled holiday in May. So.
In May? Oh, blimey.
Yeah. I thought, bound to be over by then.
Yeah, it's always good to be optimistic. So I hope I'm proved wrong. I genuinely hope I'm proved wrong.
I think they possibly you'll be allowed to travel if you have negative tests and the vaccination thing.
Yeah. But what you're saying about the UK there, I genuinely want to explore more of the UK because there's just so much here on our back doorstep, isn't there?
That's right, yeah. Like the Peak District, I've not really done much there, or Lake District. I think we went through the Lake District on the way to Scotland, but it was pissing with rain. It was couldn't see anything.
Good summer stay, that.
Yeah, set us up, that did. But yeah, I don't really... America, I think, that might be quite good. But I don't want to do the Route 66 thing. That's too touristy, you know what I mean? I'd like to just, I will go here and then windy away there sort of thing. Yeah,
that's what my wife and I do. Well, we had done it for a couple of years on the bounce. Is sort of September time, fly over there, generally to New York or Boston, hire a big truck, and then we had no road, we had no plan. We just hit the road and just did a road trip. No motorway, just did all the back roads, and you just find a motel when you want to stop for the night.
That's right.
It was awesome. Loved it.
Yeah.
So we did that in Scotland as well last year. So it was great. No, the year before. So yeah.
Yeah, I found Scotland we had to book the accommodation, otherwise it got quite busy.
If you go in peak holiday time, but I think we went in November. So, it was quite hard finding anywhere open, to be honest.
Could you see anything out the window?
It got light about 9ish, 8:30, 9, and then it was dark by about 3, 3:30. But we had a great time. We loved it. It's really good. Next question. Ashley writes, "Hi Martin and hi Bruce." Hi Ashley, how are you? Question. At any point did you think you would never be able to ride again after your accident?
Yeah, I suppose there was a little point. That's why I had to have that go on my friends.
Yeah.
It wasn't so much the physical side of it. It was the mental aspect of it. Would I have sort of coming up to junctions? Would I then be pulling my pants every time, sort of thing? That sort of thing. But no, I didn't. So as soon as I had that ride, I knew I'd have one again, and then I've had one ever since. So,
it's not. I'm not even in your same league there, but I can sort of sympathise with what you're saying, because that time when I got knocked off and did my shoulder when I was coming home from work, to be honest, I still have that feel at the old arse clenching moment every time I'm riding and I see a car approach a junction or anything like that. I've always got the bum clenching moment now, and I was in two minds. In my head, I was thinking, shit, am I going to be able to ride a bike here? Because before I got back on a bike, I was a passenger in the car with my wife driving, and my wife is actually a good driver, but I was proper doing the phantom braking all the time, and I was really nervous. And I was thinking to myself, Christ, am I going to be able to get on a bike? And I
I'm
was
a shit
nervous.
passenger.
Oh yeah, I am too.
Yeah,
I get bored.
Oh wow. I mean, Joe, like you say, Joe's a really good driver, but even then, I have to look out the side window because I have to stop myself saying anything, because otherwise I'm just nagging her. But yeah, I've been pillion. I think I have done a couple of pillion rides since as well, and that was pretty horrible.
Jeez, how'd you go pillion with one leg?
Well, you can sort of get it on. Just I can't remember what it was on. It was on the back of the GPZ 900R.
I was thinking balance. I suppose you must just have to compensate with your.
Yeah, I was gripping like death on the crap, because you can't hold on to him. That's the no-no.
like that.
Yeah, so
Depends. Could be a good-looking lad, you know.
Yeah, that was dropping my ZX10 off for it to be adapted. Up there, High Wycombe. Yeah, so he gave me a lift back. So.
Yeah.
And then I had to go pillion again. No, how crap it was. Back to go and get it as well. So.
Oh man, God, I hate going pillion. I hate it. Hate it. Right, next one. Smoky Gun. Evening, fellas. Richard here. How you doing, pal? Like myself, you've both got a good bit of facial growth going on. What, if any, do you use on the beard? Whether it be oil, cream, WD-40, 2050, or anything else. Tell us your tips. So, come on then. What's your grooming habits?
I don't really. I'm no Nicky Clark, put it that way. I tend to let it, if I'm working from home, no one has to see me really, apart from the odd Teams meeting, but I'll just let it go. And then it goes a bit sort of frizzy and it comes out. Yeah. I was trying to be polite. So, yeah, then, but if you keep trimming it, it will never get longer.
That's right.
So you have to let it bush out a bit and then sort of try and define it a bit by shape.
Prune it.
Probably,
yeah.
If Joe's not listening, I tend to just use our shampoo. So,
do you?
No, getting the evil eye now. It's expensive, apparently. I don't know what it is, but it's just. Yes. Yeah. So I wash it probably every other day. And then, because it can go dry and stuff, I've got some beard oil sort of somewhere. I'll brush that in. But yeah, other than that, I don't really do anything. You don't want to walk around with food in it, do you? So,
do you know? I mean, I've gone by that stage now where literally every fork full of food or spoonful of food, I was catching hair with it, and it was just like, this is just not fun.
It's the flavour saver.
It is, yeah. But I think I've gone through that now because I've just got used to it.
Yeah, maybe I'll just open my mouth wider.
Yeah. I was going to say I've just got used to the taste of hair.
Well, yeah, or don't eat like stuff like custard and stuff because that's just ice cream.
And do you find drinking, like if you drink out a cup, it just dribbles everywhere because I can't get a good seal against the beard.
No, I do find when I'm out walking,
just me,
I'm breathing quite hard. All my breath goes into my beard and it's really like wet, and then it must look like I've just been dribbling down the side. Yeah. Other than that, no, I'll brush it. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not Wurzel Gummidge or anything. I'm not.
My wife hates it.
Sorry.
No, go on.
Yeah, I'm not a styling guru wizard on beards. I did have a goatee, and then I just got fed up shaving the sides, so I just let it go. So that's how I got to the beard bit.
I used to have the Mexican tash. Do you remember that? The Mexican one.
I have threatened that to Joe, the old proper. Yeah,
I was in my sort of late 20s. Yeah, it would have been late 20s. And my son, I used to get my son, I wasn't with his mum. So every summer I used to go over to Spain to where my mum and dad had a villa over there. So I'd get my boy and I would literally disappear for the whole summer holidays with him over there. So we'd have like 4 or 5 weeks together out in Spain. And we were watching the TV and the old American Chopper was on. Do you remember the one with the Tootle family that used to build the choppers?
Shouting all the time.
Yeah, and Senior had that massive Mexican handlebar tash. And my son was just like, Daddy, you should do that. You should, because I had a goatee. So I shaved the Mexican tash in for the summer with him, and he loved it. And I just walked in. I used to work on the riot police, the public order division. And I came back after like 5 weeks holiday leave, and I walked into the team room with this Mexican tash, and everyone was just like, oh yeah, you've got to keep that. So I had it for about 2 years.
Yeah, I don't think I'd get away with it.
Yeah, I don't think I got away with it, but I will.
I think, would I ever shave it off? I will one day, just to see how young I look underneath. But I reckon there'd be like a tan line, won't there?
Yeah.
Everything underneath would be like really white and wrinkly, perhaps, maybe. and then there'll be this leathery skin on top.
I look about 60 with my beard, but when I shave it off, I genuinely look about 22. You know, I look like a boy without the beard. So I don't know if I want to get rid of it anymore.
I might if I get divorced again, I might.
Sorry, Joe.
Because I'll have to look younger then, won't I? Otherwise, I won't.
Right, next question. Robert Forster. Hi all, question from Martin. Apart from your original, how many legs do you have?
So I've got this one I've got a spare one, which isn't fancy, it's just hydraulic. So my spare one's waterproof, so I can wear that canoeing and stuff, kayaking. And I've got bits of one over there. So yeah, I've got various feet dotted about. I've got one, the scuba one's a doorstop somewhere. So yeah, you generally get two. You get and they're usually the same, but because the microprocessor needs so much money, they only give you one on the NHS, and then your whatever you had before is your spare. So if something breaks, you can wear your spare one, and then you go off to get it fixed and stuff.
Do you have like people have that dream bike if they win the lottery? If you won the lottery, is there like is there a leg that you would go for?
Yeah.
What's that one?
There's it's called a Genium X3, and it's a microprocessor, but it's waterproof, and you can run with it, and you can go upstairs with it. I can only go down normally. I have to go up one at a time.
Right.
So it's got a function where you can flick it out, and it sort of does that, and then it'll straighten as you put weight through it. It's a lot more natural, but the running and the waterproof bit is what does it for me. But it's similar setup. It's got more functions. It's more modes.
What's that called?
Genium X3. It's made by Otto Bock, a German company. So
Otto Bock.
Yeah, OTTO, and then Bock. So they're sort of one of the market leaders. So they had a lot because world wars basically. So that's how they started making limbs.
Was it?
And then so I've got an Otto Bock C leg. So it's a C4, which is non-waterproof, less modes. I can't run, and I can't go upstairs, but I can go down.
You know what I'm going to say, Tinterweb? If there's anyone out there, either at Ottobock,
Genium X3 is about 30 can.
There you go. I mean, what publicity? Come on. If there's anyone out there that can make this happen, tag us in.
And they do active
tag Martin,
feet as well.
Yoxall as well. Tag him. Yeah. Come on, people. Let's make this happen. Come on. I don't know if you've listened to the Linden Postgate podcast, Martin, but he's right in what he says. Don't ever say never. Don't ever say I can't. You've got to have a positive mindset and keep working. Things will happen. So, come on. People out there, let's make this happen.
But this one I've got, that wasn't on the National Health. That used to be the one that you go for.
Right.
So as everything improves, it all slides down, like your iPhones, So then it comes in. So there will be a day where the Geniums will come in, and then there'll be something even better.
People like me who are on YouTube and social media, there's people out there that get given all sorts of Gucci stuff, expensive bits of kit for nothing. So if you genuinely want that leg, let's make this blooming happen. So please, come on. Anyone got any ideas? Anyone's got any contacts? Drop me a line or drop Martin a line. In fact, drop me a line and I will push it. So just DM me through any of the social medias. Let's make it happen. Come on.
You need a Otto Box sponsor, don't you?
Fine. Okay, let's do it. We'll get you. You can do your daily postings when you're out running. You'll still beat me. You'll beat me on running, I tell you. I cannot run.
I just stride really fast. I can't run. So.
You'll still beat me, I tell you.
There was a time I probably couldn't even walk a mile. So I think as the legs progress, and then your fit thing started, and it all coincided with I had a similar thing. That picture you put up of me, by the way, and I'm standing there with my dogs and my stomach, and I thought, that's a good picture. That's what kick-started. Because I said to my missus, am I really that fat? And she went, yeah. And I was like, I've got to do something about this then.
Thank you, dear.
So, yeah.
Were you like me? Like, I was aware I'd put some timber on, but I didn't think I got to that stage.
It's not as bad, is it, looking down? But when you get the side on profile, it's like, ooh.
But it was at the stage where no matter what shot, when I was editing, and no matter what shot I used, I was like, you're a fat knacker, you're a fat knacker. What about this one? Yeah, you're a fat knacker. And I was just like, oh my God, there's no getting away from this.
You could think about it. You could get more sponsorship on that, couldn't you?
Just a walking billboard. Yeah, proper. Literally a walking billboard. Yeah. But no, I feel good now. Do you feel better now that you started doing it?
It's the consistency of doing it all the time.
Yeah.
And that's why now I go for a walk and I put weight in my rucksack because I can't go any faster. So I have to change the intensity somehow. And I could go further, but it takes me nearly 2 hours every night as it is. I'll be like out there all night otherwise. So that's how I do it. And then, I find I'm doing the same time with more weight. So I'll put more weight in and then do it. The poor little dogs can't keep up now. So I have to do it.
Good on you.
Definitely feel fitter and stronger.
I definitely feel better in myself, Martin. It's just like I've got more drive. I'd love to say I've got more energy, but I'm knackered, but I'm a different kind of knackered. I'm knackered because I've been working out and I've been doing stuff. Yeah. Whereas before I just had this, that lethargic tiredness you get where you just can't be arsed. Yeah. And that's
it's a self-defeating cycle, isn't it? Because you don't, and then you get fatter and then you just,
Yeah. So folks, if that rings a bell with you, if that's striking a chord, if you're not already following all of us over on Insta, get yourself across onto Instagram. You can follow Martin at YoxRex. His links will be down below. Or you can follow me, TeapotOne Insta. But every day, basically, Monday to Friday, I'm doing it. Martin, are you 7 days a week or just?
No, I try and do 5 days, and I was doing Monday to Friday. But what I found was I was getting to the weekend and I was just like
wiped out,
and I wasn't doing anything. So then I might have a Wednesday off or something.
Okay.
And then I do, so because I finish early on a Friday, I put a long one in Friday because I want to always hit 20 miles a week. So that gives me my banker sort of thing. So then I've only got to do a couple tomorrow and I'm done.
Awesome.
So then I'll have Sunday off and then. Yeah. But the rest days are important. If you need a day where you do nothing.
Yeah. I just do Monday to Friday, so I keep the weekends off just so for exactly that, just chill. Yeah. So folks, just all you need to do is just do a quick Instagram story post. That's all it is. And it's basically just you either out doing something, chatting to the camera, or if you don't want to chat to the camera, you can just take a picture of you out running, walking, in the gym, whatever it is. Just take a picture, tag me in it, TeapotOne Insta, and we just keep everybody motivated, isn't it? It's just literally just, I'm out here, I'm doing it.
I find it good. Because the more and more people get tagged in each other's stories. So you think, and then, in fact, since you announced I've been on there, quite a few people have requested to follow me. So then they post their story. So then it grows. And then you run out of hashtags and after a while you put in a story and you think, I've missed one out, I know it. But it is good and it does keep people, it keeps me going, so it must.
Me too, mate. The amount of times I've woken up in the morning and I've thought, I cannot be arsed to go out and do half-hour rowing or circuit or whatever. And then I start going through the stories on Instagram and it's like, such and such, like Roger's tagged you.
He's already been out.
Martin's tagged me and that Lee's done this. And you're just like, oh my God, right, I've got to go and do it now. And it makes you accountable. It's good. Yeah.
So do you do yours in the morning?
Yeah, I do, yeah. I am terrible at the moment. I've gone from, in the old job, in the old bill, I was getting up at like 4, 4:30 every morning. into work, do a 12-hour shift, ride home, edit, you work your life around it. And I was surviving on anywhere from an hour to maybe 3-4 hours sleep a night. And I'd done that for decades and I was fine. Now, geez, it's like I might wake up about 7:30, 8, but I'm not getting out of my bed till 9:30, 10. I'm terrible now. I know, it's atrocious. But then that just pushes you forward because it's like 10:30 before I get down into my garage and onto the rower. Then you're talking sort of 10:30, 11 by the time I finish training. Then you have your breakfast. Well, I have my breakfast, then like do dishes, sort out downstairs, have your shower. So it's midday before I sit down to work. And then I'm working, you have your dinner. So 6 till 7, I'm maybe having my dinner. And then I'm working again till late. And you just get in that ever cycle, don't you? Where you're just... working late and getting up late.
I do mine after work because I can't. I start work at 7. I ain't going to get up at 4 to go for a walk, and then I come home. If I'm working from home, the dogs I'll take them with me, but that sort of slows you down a bit because they got to have their walk and they're getting on a bit. But if they're not here, I'll go proper. And it's harder, I find, not taking them because I haven't got a reason to go out.
Yeah.
So, but once I'm out doing it, I'm in it. It's just getting that, just do it. It'd be so easy to go, do you know what, I'll give it a miss today.
You never regret doing something. You never regret, like, going for a walk, going for a run, doing some training, do you? But to make yourself do it, that's the hard bit.
Yeah, definitely.
But once it's done, it's great. Yeah, I've sort of hinted towards it, but I'm definitely starting to think, this Talisker Atlantic row thing is
I can't believe that would be so.
It's definitely on my horizon. I'll tell you, I've looked into it and seen the prices, the costs, and I'm like, okay, right. So I need 2 years really to work and build to that. I'm like, okay. Might happen.
You think you could work and train to it and do what you do now? I think people have to go fully?
Well, my main concern at the moment is cost because it's like 20 grand just to enter, and then obviously you either have to buy or rent the boats, and then all the kit that goes with it, and then you're looking at to do it solo, you're looking at least 50 days. Anywhere up to maybe 100, 120 days, so you're looking anywhere from a month and a half to 3 months to do it. I don't know. I haven't discussed it with Mrs. Teapot yet, so I shouldn't be discussing it with everybody here. But
it's quite a long time to be on your own as well, isn't it? It's there's no one there to push you on.
I mean, at the moment, and I know naivety is a fantastic thing, but being by myself doesn't bother me. It's never bothered me, but I appreciate that is a totally different environment. It's a totally different situation. And a lot of people that I've followed doing this year's one have all said that the physical side of it is almost it's not something that you the physicalities of it is obviously it's hard, but it's the mental side of dealing with being alone, of dealing with just the monotony of every day, getting up and rowing 12 to 18 hours a day, but I don't know. It's just this. I'm a bit of a pervert in that sense, and I quite like that challenge. That.
Yeah.
It's just that you can't.
I'll get what you mean. Like, I think.
And I need someone to say, you can't do that. And then I'll be like, okay, I'm doing that. That's happening.
I think most people would say, if that's what you want to do, go for it. But
yeah, I know, yeah. And that also makes me go, okay, right.
Yeah.
I'm not committing to it yet, but I'm definitely thinking I've got a feeling this might be a thing. So we'll see. But I've got to cycle around the UK first. I've got to do that.
Oh yeah, that little thing.
Yeah, I've just got to sneak that in somehow. I'm more worried about the physical side of doing that than I am at the prospect of rowing the Atlantic.
If I had to cycle around the UK, I would want a saddle like a tractor seat.
Oh man,
You know what I mean?
I know. Oh,
Not one.
oh, well.
They sit on these little. It looks like a
Razor
pencil
blades.
case, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I want a big leather couch under there. Yeah.
Yeah, with springs on it. Yeah.
Oh, I've just seen Robert's got a second part to his question. He said, "What's the funniest thing that you've done or has happened with a non-original leg?" Well, you sort of hinted on that earlier.
Yeah,
Funny.
I've had a couple. I did a football match when I was younger, and
Right.
it was like a pub team thing, and it wasn't anything serious. It was just I think it was the two sides of the pub, and so, but not a lot because I always wore long trousers and stuff. So obviously my friends knew, but
Yeah.
there'd be a lot of people in the pub that wouldn't have twigged. And so I said, no, I'll go and goal because I can't run about.
Yeah.
And I'll be useless at kicking the ball as well. But I'll go and goal. And they say, okay. So I had tracksuit bottoms on. And then there's this big goal mouth scramble. And I was like diving around all over the place and everything like this. And I saved it. The ball went off to a corner. So the guy goes off to the corner. I stand up and my foot is pointing out behind me. And there's people like, what have you done to your leg? I went up to the goalpost to sort of push my foot against it to twist it back around. So I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And my mate's shouting, mate's trying to take the corner kick. My mate's going, hang on a minute. And yeah, so I get it all straight. And I'm like, what? It's just like, people didn't know what to make of that.
People start throwing up in the goal mouth and all sorts of That bloke's mental. He's proper hard.
There was a time in a service station in France somewhere, and it was a touring holiday with my friends. And as I got off my bike, the hydraulic knees, if you walk backwards, they don't brace the knee. They won't lock.
Right.
They'll just collapse. And so I stepped back, and then the knee just gave way, and down I went, and it twisted the foot round, and I couldn't get it straight. And then I couldn't really walk either because the knee was all pointing out here. And so I said to my friend, "Have you got any Allen keys?" And he said, "Yeah." So yeah, I had to drop my trousers in the service station. All these French families going around, and he's down there with the Allen keys, loosening it all off to get it back sort of straight. Did it all back up again, yeah. And pay for my petrol, and off we went. So, yeah, other than that, just most of the time now. Yeah, I wear shorts a lot now, so it's not so much a secret to anyone.
Yeah. Simon Beale. Hi, Martin. As the saying goes, put your best foot forward. Which would be your best foot?
Actually, be the artificial one. Simply because my other one has taken such a hammering over the years. So now I've got like arthritis in it, and it's a bit sort of battered and sort of. But yeah, you did. I don't just crack on with it really because there's nothing I can do. It's
There's no other option, is there? Yeah, you just have to deal with it.
Yeah. So deal with that. Well, I might have had that anyway. So
I was thinking to myself. I was actually wondering that. I wonder if you get like aches and pains on the other side of your body because you're compensating for it. Yeah. Yeah,
I've got a crease in my back where over the years I've always stood leaning towards the good side. So now I've got a sort of, I'm not like hunchback or anything, but there is a crease in there. I get pointed this out because my other half's an osteopath. So.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, so I get one. I'm preaching doing that.
How did you meet then? You and the other half?
When I got divorced.
What was your other half called again? Is it Joe? Is that right?
Josie, yeah.
Josie.
I call it Joe, yeah, Joe. Yeah. So if I say Joe, sometimes people think it's my husband. But
we don't discriminate here, mate. We don't discriminate.
No, nor do I. But yeah, when I got divorced, it was on the internet. So we met.
Oh,
she picked me up.
Yeah.
She won the lucky prize.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Didn't she just? Next question. David Buschultz. Martin, serious question. Ooh. Can you get different shoe sizes with artificial legs? And if not, how do you cope with buying shoes or boots?
You can have any size foot you want on the other end of it, can't you? I could go for a clown one if I wanted.
Just do that Halloween.
Or a really little one. Yeah, no, I've got the same size feet. They come in standard sort of sizes. It's not the exact copy of my foot.
Right.
So, but it has toes. I can wear flip-flops.
Mm-hmm.
They're like a little rubber sort of shaped foot. If I had one to hand, I'd show you. But, yeah. So buying shoes, I always buy them to fit my good foot.
Yeah.
And it'll go on that one. It doesn't matter if it's tight, does it?
I suppose not.
Get pins and needles in it, really. I do have to be careful with my shoe choice. I can't wear anything. I mean, the leg's really adjustable, and when you go there, and I wear like trainers, and they set it up so you walk quite well in your trainers. If I was to wear shoes with less of a heel or bigger heel, it would tilt the foot, and then it throws all the walking out, and then you end up sort of walking like Basil Fawlty or something. So yeah, you do have to sort of buy similar height shoes, if you know what I mean. Not that I go for stilettos or anything, but I tend to have flat soles.
I've got all these images going through my head, mate. So many questions.
Yeah, open up. That's another avenue, isn't it? I'm going to go for a little tiny foot one day, I think, just for a laugh. Get one of those little baby shoes on it. I look like Deadpool when he loses legs.
When he loses a limb, yeah. I watched that the other day, Deadpool 2, I think it was, when he had the bottom half ripped off.
The baby legs, yeah.
And other baby things, yeah. It's awesome. I love that. Those films, they're brilliant.
Yeah.
Right, we have just moved across onto Instagram. So it's at TeapotOne Insta, and Martin, yours is at YoxRex, isn't it?
Yeah.
Be links down below. Jim Morrison's bath water. I love some people's tags that they have on social media. They're just crazy.
I was quite boring with mine. I think it's my surname, and I used to have a ZRX bike, and that's how I got YoxRex.
But I mean, if you just have your name, it's like, oh, how dare you just use your own name?
And there's
just no thought gone into it.
There's another one of yours. Is it no usernames left or something?
Yeah, that's genius, that one, isn't it? Brilliant.
And someone else is just a dot as well.
that no usernames left. I glance, I keep thinking it's username Kate. No, it's not. We'll take a quick break here to give you a couple more sponsor readouts, folks. The podcast is also sponsored by Ultimate Add-ons. Ultimate Add-ons are the premium manufacturer of mobile phone and action camera mounting solutions for motorcycles. With a kit for any bike and a proven track record of creating products that keep your devices safe, secure, and easily accessible, the Ultimate Add-ons product range is ideal for any rider from the commuter to the round-the-world adventurer. Why shell out on an expensive GPS system when you could use your smartphone, keeping it charged and within reach to take photos of your travels at the same time? Ultimate Add-ons waterproof, shockproof and dustproof tough cases are available for all flagship smartphone models and are designed by riders for riders. Find out why Ride Magazine gives Ultimate Add-ons their coveted Best Buy certification. Keep riding this winter with Ultimate Add-ons. It's all about the journey. And if you head to their website and use the code TeapotOne10, you'll get 10% off. That's TeapotOne and the number 10, TeapotOne10, for 10% off. Lastly, we are sponsored by Enov. Now, Enov don't give me any sort of set blurb to read out to you. All I can say is Enov are also one of my YouTube channel sponsors. You'll see over there that they've provided a couple of their latest on-bike camera solutions, the K2. I've now got the flagship 4K model, the K5. Just done a review of that, and an installation vid is coming out this Friday. They've got a new model coming out soon, which is the K3. Innov have it dialed in when it comes to onboard camera systems, like dash cam type systems for motorcycles and any other vehicles. Really are well worth checking out. They're totally autonomous. They switch on as soon as the engine comes on. They record absolutely everything. They've even got onboard fantastic sound now through an auxiliary mic, so you can even vlog, be your own TeapotOne, be your own TMF. Their kit really is superb. Head to innov.co.uk for some more information. That's INNOVV.co.uk, and check out the products they've got listed there. All right, folks, let's get back to the chat. Right, Jim Morrison's bathwater question. Do you think that the very difficult times that you've experienced have made you stronger and more determined? And in what time frame after these difficult times did you say to yourself, screw this, I'm living my life regardless of the setbacks?
Definitely, yes, it does have an effect. When I lost it, there was quite a big momentum wave. So I wanted to make sure that my parents knew I'd be all right. And so I had to show them that I was getting on. Yeah, it's fine, it's great. And then you get your leg and everything. And then it's basically the court case. Once that had finished, there was nothing left.
Yeah.
It was like, now this is, off you go. This is it. And then that's when I went dark. So it went very, quite a bad patch, really.
Was it like, what now? Was it that sort of moment?
And then is this it? And I was in a job that I didn't really enjoy and stuff. But so I went into work one day and I was just like, it's had enough. So I was literally there now, and I just put my tools in my box and said, I'm going. And I went. And then, I went to Australia, did that a couple of times.
What did you do over there? All right.
I just, my friend who I went to school with married an Australian girl. He got married in Bali, so I went out to his wedding, and then I met Australians there, and they're like, yeah, come over,
yeah.
And then, so I did, and then, so I went over there, and it was great. It was like, because you don't have to like find stuff out, you know what I mean, or do the touristy stuff. You don't want to go there. That's shit. It's like, this is, and they got speedboats and motorbikes and you can use it and stuff like this. And, it was him that lent me the jet ski that broke my leg on the beach. It was really good. I had a wicked time. So
whereabouts you go in Australia?
They lived just outside of Sydney. I went to Perth.
Wow.
A bit. And then I went back out to see my friends in Sydney again because I thought about moving out there and doing it, but timing wasn't right. I had a house and had a little dog and stuff like that. I thought, I could do it, but it just didn't feel right. So I didn't. So then I had a year off, just doing whatever I wanted, really, which is quite good. And a bit like you, I'd get up late and then end up staying up late, and I turned into this night owl.
Yep.
But I had a wicked time. I had a couple of mates lodging with me, so it was good times. Then I got married, so there was that chapter. But I just bought motorbikes so I could go wherever I wanted on my bike and stuff. And, bought a brand new. It was my first brand new motorbike, and I bought a TL1000S when they came out.
The TL1000.
Yeah.
Like the Widowmaker, wasn't it? Is that not what it was known as?
Yeah, unless you're a big fat lump like me, it was all right. But it was a bit thing. I think I got up to 9 points if I had to sell it.
Jeez. A mate of mine, I used to work in the diplomatic protection with him, and then he moved to traffic. He ended up going to the traffic unit, and he bought a TL1000. And he's a great rider, and he did a bit of racing and stuff as well. But he just lived on the back wheel on this thing.
Yeah,
you're a fucking traffic officer, and he's just wheeling every.
It was impossible not to on those things.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said you cannot keep the front down on this thing.
No.
Yes, officer.
I had to dispatch on it for a day once when my bike was in for repair. Oh. So I had to went into a TL and 90 miles a tank.
Hang on a minute, Martin. I forgot to mention this. I think I mentioned it in the initial post on social media. But you were a dispatch rider for something like 6 years?
Yeah. So when I came back from Australia, and I thought, no, I need to do something because I'm just, I'm just doing nothing. But it sounds like the ideal job. You're into motorbikes. You're riding a motorbike all day. What's not to like?
Mm-hmm.
So there was a grant. So you applied for it, and the government paid for the course. It was a week's course, and you get an MVQ in road and transport management or something. Right. But basically, it was just a way of this company would get money off the government, and then at the end of the week's course, they would place you with a courier company. So I thought that sounds all right because they give you a bit of, you get to know what you're to expect, and then you get put in with a job. But you're self-employed, but you're sort of placed with this company. So yeah, I did that. I quite enjoyed it at first. It was quite a steep learning curve. Yeah, you got your Greater London map list, and your head's always in it. Yeah, there was no sat navs in them though. And then you get to learn all the post rooms and do all that. So I worked up in London for quite a long time, and then because I lived out in Farnborough, I worked for companies out there that went into London. So I'd do that a couple of times a week. But I was doing 1,000 miles a week, and it killed my enjoyment of motorbikes because I was always on it. Yeah. So the TL1000s, I didn't ride it at the weekend because I just could not be arsed. The last thing I wanted to do, was because it was long hours. It was good money, but long hours. And then it tailed off. The money tailed off because broadband came out. They weren't sending stuff; they just send it into electronically. But I took interesting stuff.
You must have some stories from dispatching, surely.
I had to pick up a dead duck once, and they'd wrapped it up in the yellow sort of
a deceased
bag.
Donald.
Yeah, and it was rock hard. It was and so I had to pick it up out. It was where was it picking up? Hazelmere.
Polly has gone.
And I had to take it to this place where they examine it, and I think they had to test it to see if it had died of something. And they needed, but yeah, I thought there's no way this duck is going in my top box with my sandwiches and stuff. So I bunged it on the top. So it was like I had this yellow duck-shaped thing stuck on the top of my top box, and off I went.
Oh God!
Got to this place and just handed over. I had to pick up bags of cow's guts from the abattoir, and they'd be like warm still, And it was all gloopy inside this bin bag type thing. They double bag it, but it was minging. I had to pick that up, and that had to go to the EFRA place for them to test it, do random tests and stuff. Did Dame Edna Edridge's glasses. I took them down to her.
Did you?
Yeah. Engelbert Humperdinck.
This is like when you get a taxi driver and you're like, right, what famous people have had in your cab?
Yeah. Brian May answered the door in his pants to me.
Rewind. Engelbert Humperdinck. What's the story with that?
He was doing a concert in Bournemouth and he'd forgotten something or something. And so you had to pick it up from whatever place in London and then go down to Bournemouth Concert Centre. And he was on stage doing his sound checks and stuff. So he got one of his minions to sign for this. It was only a little thing.
Yeah.
And he said, you can hang about if you like, have a listen. No, you're all right, mate. Got things to do. And it's like...
You turned down Brian May.
No, Brian May, it was because Roger Taylor lived out...
Oh, no, that was Engelbert. Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. So Roger Taylor and Brian May used to send a lot of stuff to each other because they have record production and stuff. So Roger Taylor's place was off the A3 down on the way to Liphook. And you'd have to go in and then pick stuff up from the recording studio and then take it to Brian May's place. And he had a couple of places. And this time it was in his London place, in central London. So normally you get a minion that comes out and just signs for it and takes it away. You never see him. But this time I knocked on the front door and he opens the door and he's got these bright coloured boxer shorts on and a smart shirt. And he said, I'm sorry I'm in my pants, but my trousers are getting ironed. And I'm like, no worries, mate. So, he signs my docket and then I went. So that was, it's good things like that. It was a good laugh. But there's lots of stories of either stuff that my friend did. Channel 4 was a big customer and I had to pick up these, they were like dolls. So it must have been for a TV program, and they were quite big. They were like this big. There's about 6 of them, and I couldn't get them all in my box. So I put what I could in my box, and then you have a dispatch messenger bag. And so I got that out, and it just like a strap over your shoulder, and I put that in, but it used to hang quite low. So the bag was hanging down the side of me, and it was riding down there. But unbeknown to me, the dolls were resting against the exhaust silencer in the bag. So, yeah, I got there, got to Channel 4, and you go to the post room. And so I got the ones out of the box, all right. And then as I got in the thing, this is a bit warm. And I opened it up, and the side of his face was all sort of flat. So I had to bundle it up a bit with the others. And then the posties, then the guys in the post room, they just take stuff aside, but they don't really check it.
They don't check it.
He signed for it. I shut it and I whizzed off. So yeah, it wasn't me, whoever it was. So yeah, it's quite a few things like that.
You must have had some near misses as well, though.
Yeah, I had a couple of accidents. Yeah, I had black cabs doing U-turns. That's quite. Yeah. I had 2 of those. There's one. I was going out to Hammersmith flyover on the A4.
Yeah.
So I was going up to that, and I was going in between the cars, and he just decided to change lanes, and I wasn't going that fast, and I just sort of stepped off, but he broke my clutch lead. So then I had to do the rest of the journey with no clutch, because the lever was about this long. But you never get any money out of them, because they always, all their black cab mates say, "Oh no, it wasn't him." Or, yeah. So there's no point even claiming. So what was the other one? I had a GPZ 750 Top Gun bike.
Mm-hmm.
But this looked nothing like the one in Top Gun. It was a real ratter. So and I was going down the Bayswater Road, and it was wet, and I was in my waterproofs and stuff. And then I was riding along, and a car just pulled away from the curb, because it's like 3 lanes wide.
Yeah. And
just did this massive U-turn, and I jammed on the brakes, and I missed him, but the wheel lock tucked. Down we went, and then I slid along behind this bike, and then my bike hit the back of another bike who was waiting at the traffic lights, another courier, and he just sort of looked down at me and just went, and I sort of came sliding up and hit the back of my bike. And he goes, "You all right?" And I went, "Yeah, sorry about that." And he's like, "No worries." Like, go green, he just went. And then so I had to pick my bike up, and it crashed quite well. It was a bit flat down one side, but I was more pissed off because I ripped all my waterproofs. So yeah, I got wet that day.
So what was the turning point then that you decided, right, okay, I've done dispatch riding, let's move on? Yeah,
it was because the money tailed off, really. So I was doing longer hours to earn less money. So I was when I started, I could do £1,000 a week, which is mid-90s.
That's not bad then, eh?
But out of that, you have to take out your petrol, your bike stuff.
That's not bad now. Money. What am I talking about? It's not bad then. I'd be chuffed for that.
It was good money, but it was long hours, and you had to be prepared to do everything. Mm-hmm. So I would get home at 10 a lot. 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes. You do a day's work and they say, "Oh, we got a Manchester." Mm-hmm. You go, "Yeah," and then you take it. So you go up to Manchester at 5 o'clock at night and come home. But when broadband came out, it all tailed off quite, like almost on the day. It's like companies were saying
so there was no like adjusting period. It was just bang.
No, there was like loads less. And then you'd have days where you'd be up there all day and not get one single job. So you wouldn't have anything. And then, then the next day you'd get 2 going to, miles away. So
where did you go then? After dispatch riding, where did you go to after that?
I went back into engineering.
What engineering is it you specialise in? Are you mechanical or electrical?
Yeah, so I used to work on lathes and mills. So I did my apprenticeship on that. So it was quite handy always having that. I could always go into somewhere and say, "I've done an apprenticeship, this is what I can do." Yeah. You don't really forget. I just got bored of it. So, but after like 7 years of riding motorbikes, I kind of wanted to give that up so I could get back into having it for fun.
Yeah.
So, I went back and like the Zeus fasteners. Do you remember?
Who's that?
Zeus fasteners, the quarter turn fasteners you use on fairings and stuff.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
Yeah, and so I went to work for them in Farnham. So I didn't earn anywhere near what I was earning couriering, but it was regular and it was the same sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that, and then when I met Joe, I came down to East Sussex because that's where she was. So I work down here now. So. But I sit at a desk now. I don't work on machines. I program the machines remotely to do what I'm supposed to do.
To do it all.
Yeah.
There was another part of Jim Morrison's bathwater questionnaire where he said, when did you reach the point where you just said, screw this, I'm living my life regardless of the setbacks? Have you always had that mentality, or is that something you've adopted?
No, I've always been a little bit. If someone says to me no, that means yes to me. But Joe calls me stubborn, but I call it determined.
Yes. Yes, sounds like Joe and my wife would get on well, because that's exactly
I
what
think
she
they
says.
would. Yeah, so she sort of rolls her eyes at me sometimes, but I if I set my mind to do it, I'll do it, and I'll find a way of doing it.
Yeah,
it'd be very rare for me to say I can't do it, but I will. But I'll have to have exhausted all of my avenues of what I could do.
Yeah,
but there wasn't really a one moment thing. I think after being depressed about it, I kind of knew that I had to come out of that somehow. Otherwise, I was just going to be a miserable git for the rest of my life.
Was that purely down to you then? Like, did you realise that, I've got an issue here, I need to do something about it, or like was there a bit of intervention?
Yeah, kind of. I was just getting more and more inward. So being on my own, didn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
I had no motivation for anything.
Yeah.
And I was literally just going to work just because it was work and it was money.
I had a bad period after coming back from. I've never hidden it. I had a bad period when I came back from my trip, and I'd never ever been like that. And I'd heard about people talking about depression and people not being getting to that stage in life where you just like, what it's like. It's just like this emptiness, isn't it? And I just can't. Yeah. And I'd always thought to myself, you're just being weak-willed. Come on, just buck yourself up. And that was the attitude I have. Just buck up and get on with it. And it wasn't until it happened. I just found myself in that, like you said, just that sort of empty place. And I was just like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know how to get out of it. And I can't even remember now what happened, but there was a trigger somewhere that just switched in my head that made me go, okay, you need to sort this out. You've got to get on with this. You can either keep going this way, but it ain't going to go well, or you go for it. Let's concentrate and get ourselves out. And I just seem to be like that all the time now. It's just, for me, it's just a mindset. It's just, even if you can't focus for the horizon, focus for that step, and then get that step, focus on the next one, and keep going and keep going.
Always break it down.
Yeah. And like I said to you before, chatting with Lyndon Poskett last week, what he said was that never ever say, I can't do that, or I'll never be able to do that. He said, fuck that, because if you say that, it'll never happen.
Yeah.
And I totally believe in that. The only person that will ever limit what you are able to attain in life is you.
Yeah.
Okay, you're never going to be able to jump off a building and fly yourself. You're never going to be able to teleport yourself to another part. You will never be able to do that. But attainable things, the only thing that's going to stop you is you, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you could be, if you're not that way, I think it would be quite hard. You can't. Some people are just naturally like that, aren't they?
Yeah.
I don't think you can suddenly flip it, but you can certainly improve on what you do have.
Some people are. Sorry, go on. Apologies.
Yeah, you use positive examples of when, I can't be arsed, and then you went and did it, and it was actually all right. It was quite good fun. And Josie's very good at, she'll say to me, because there'll be times I can't be asked to do stuff now, but and then she'll say, but when you went out and when we did that, you had a good time.
Yeah.
And I'll go, yeah. And I have to admit it. hate it. But yeah, so she's quite good at reinforcing the positive in the past occurrences, and then so the next time it happens, you go, actually, it could be all right.
Yeah, there are people out there, the old glass half full, glass half empty, isn't there? And there are definitely people out there who have a sort of glass half empty attitude or glass half full attitude to life, and there definitely is that. And I think everybody probably fluctuates. Yeah, I mean, there may well be people out there that are constantly positive about absolutely everything. In fact, I think we can. But are they like that all the time, or do they just portray that in public, and then in private, are they like?
Good question.
I don't know. I've got a mate of mine, Ed. Hope you don't mind me bringing you up, Ed. But he is like that. He's the most positive person I've ever met in my life, and it is a joy to be around him because he's just full of beans all the time, and he just doesn't ever seem to have a day where he's like, I can't be arsed, this is shit. He's just like, even the days when he's like, oh God, I'm not feeling it today, and then in the same sentence he goes, no, come on, let's go, let's have it, and he's just like,
so he's had a brief moment when he's gone, no, he won't let him do it. So
yeah,
you kind of have to. I think if you're not one for going out or doing stuff, then try and get in a group that does that for you. So it could be like a motorbike group or a club, or even on the internet forums or stuff. Join something, and I've made some good friends just on bike forums and stuff. Yeah.
And I think now that's never more prevalent than our current situation, is
exactly,
it? Because as bikers, we can't, although, I mean, people are still going out on a bike. Yeah, I appreciate that. But we're not doing it to the extent that we usually do. You can't go away on your calves and meet up in the calf, and you can't go on trips away and do all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I was really feeling this latest lockdown. The first two, I wasn't bothered with, to be honest. I was
the first one I found because it was summer, wasn't it? Where I live, because Westlands used to be just down the road, even though they were there. But there's loads of bikes that go past, and I can hear them, and I was thinking, he gets, I'm being good. So I found that quite hard, but I kind of knew, there's a reason for it. I won't do it. That's just my personal thing.
No.
It's up to you if you want it. You're an adult. But this one, I wouldn't normally be riding my bike now anyway, because I did all that couriering and in every weather with snow and that. I think to me, it's not enjoyable. If it's raining when I go out, I don't care. But to go out now and get my bike covered in shit, and I have to dress up and get warm. And, I don't have that gear anymore. I tend just to have summer stuff. So, I just don't bother. But I will do the odd bit. But because I can't, and I know I can't, that's what's getting to me more than. Even though I say, but you wouldn't go out in January anyway.
So when freedom returns, where's the first place you're going?
Oh, that's a good question. You see, because my holiday at work starts on the 1st of April, and I have 2 days left to take. And I thought, no, I'm saving them because I'm hoping we'll be let out before the 1st of April.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to have 2 days off. I've even bought a tent.
Yeah.
And I'm not used. I bought it in the Black Friday sale. And I've got a little camp bed and legs and stuff. Yeah, so I thought, no, I could go somewhere. It doesn't matter where it's it. I suppose, I quite like to do like the peaks and stuff like that, Peak District. Maybe. It doesn't have to be camping. I'd quite happy to say B&B if you could, But I think I would do a long weekend.
Nice.
4 days somewhere. Make a thing of it.
I want to go to one of our local pubs here. They do awesome pies. They've got like award-winning pies.
Yeah.
And as soon as we're allowed out and the pubs are open, I'm going to the pie pub for pie and mash.
Definitely. Yeah. I do miss the going out. Even just like taking the dogs for a walk or something. There's a bar over the road. You can't go there now. A lot of the walk today. I went past the pub in the village, shut. Whereas I would have just popped in and had a Swifty and carried on. So yeah, I miss that sort of stuff.
Well, it's going to be our national duty to support local businesses when freedom returns. So we're all going to have to get to the pub and get to the shops and the restaurants and make the most of it. You know?
Yeah, and because I don't like getting on my bike and just doing a loop and then coming home again. I like to go somewhere and then even if we just have a coffee and
just do something. Yeah, absolutely. Right, next question. Andy Mancam. I knew he was going to say this. He just said, nice T-shirt. I was like, yeah, I knew, because you're wearing one of his T-shirts in one of them.
Yeah, the fat one.
The fat picture.
The fat picture. I've got his stretched out shirt on. I needed a bigger size, but it fits now. So
he's just said nice T-shirt. So fair play. Right, next one after that. Where are we? So let's move these out of the way. Oh. Josie Waters. If money was no object, what's your dream?
Missus.
What's your missus? Hi, Josie. If money was no object, what is on your dream list of things to try or places to go? We've kind of touched on that, haven't we? But let's go through it again. Things to try, places to go.
Things to try. Can't say a mistress, really, can
I? Depends if you want another divorce or not.
Yeah, America. Travel in America. Mm-hmm. Doesn't have to be by bike. You could rent a car.
Yeah, definitely.
I fancy the idea of like an older sort of car. Yeah, the old American big tanky thing. Or RV.
The States is so good because it's so different over there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's massive. You don't appreciate how big. Australia's the same, isn't it? You don't appreciate how big the place is till you're there, and when you travel by road, you realise, or even by air, it's like 5 or 8 hour flight from one coast to the other. It's insane. But it's just all the different cultures and almost languages. You get down in the south and there's all the different dialects that they have, and I love it. I absolutely love traveling over there.
Yeah, I think that'd be definitely on my list. I don't really have a thing for India or anything.
Do you not?
I don't know. I suppose I don't know why. No, I'm sure there's brilliant scenery and there's nice stuff.
I definitely want to go. I definitely want to do India, and if I can, it's not going to happen this year, but it's definitely on my list. I will go there, do a week or two over there.
I think Nepal. Looks quite good.
Oh yeah.
I think, but it's a little bit. I mean, as an ex-dispatcher, even that looks scary to me. But you just see videos and they're just overtaking whether you're going there or not. And stuff.
Yeah, but it just works, though. You know what I mean? It just works because everybody does that. It just works, and it's like you get to places like I remember riding through Thailand, and because it's a Buddhist country, it's Buddhist religion. They just have this mentality that what's meant to be is meant to be, and if it's my time to die, it's my time to die. So I'll just go. And I sadly saw a young lad meet his end on a little moped. He just pulled out in front of a truck, and you're like, why did you do that? and it just literally, decapitated him in one hit, and he was crazy. Obviously, you wouldn't do that, would you? But they just, that's how they get on with stuff. They just do it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I can't really think of anything top of my head. Sounds a bit boring, I know.
So you're going to skydive in Norway and you'd be a happy man?
Yeah, that'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? I could incorporate the skydiving into one of the trips.
Yeah, but it'll cost you about 10 times as much as normal. That's the only problem.
Yeah, maybe I need to go to America to do the skydiving.
Alex Castle? Alex CSTL. I'm a right knee amputee, just like you. It's okay to adapt the bike with the rear brake on the handlebar, but how do you manage when it stops with a 1200 GS with a passenger to handle 300 kilogram on the prothesis side?
Is he saying my missus is fat?
I was thinking 300 kilograms for a GS with a rider and pillion. It'd be more than that.
What is it? A GSA is what, 290 something?
GSA is about 270. Oh, without fuel. I'm thinking without fuel. Yeah, with fuel, you're probably looking coming on 300.
Panniers, and then I'm 100 and a bit.
Yeah, you're looking best part of half a ton, aren't you?
Yeah. So but it's quite a well balanced bike, I find. So if you're moving and you're under power, even if you're slipping the clutch, it's all manageable. I think the Curing was quite good at. It teaches you a lot about habits, but it does teach you bike control and
slow speed.
And you got to weave in and out, and you got to do sharp right turns, sharp left turns, T junctions and stuff. So you kind of get all that.
Yeah.
But the only problem I have is what I said earlier. And if there's crosswinds, I have to lean the bike in, and then I'm leaning 300 plus on one leg. But I have a very well developed right leg. So I think
you're the squat king in the gym with one leg.
No, I can't do squats in the rack because I'm not balanced enough. But the ones
you can do
the
leg press
and you push up. I could do 200 kilos with my one leg.
Nice.
So that's most of the weight, isn't it? Because you're not taking the whole weight, are you?
Mm-hmm.
The tyres are taking some of it, aren't they? So,
yeah.
So it can be if it's a long time. Like when you get back to the channel and then they've got those bloody great big queues to go show your passport. We tend to get off and then I just walk it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, because I can't be asked doing the clutch all the time. Yeah. Because I can't, when I stop, I don't click it into neutral. I just leave it in gear. I either hold the clutch in and then when the lights go green or it's free to pull out, I pull out. So in traffic jams, I'm constantly pulling the clutch in all the time. Mm-hmm. So my hand gets a little bit tired. So, I just get off and walk it. It's easier. Mm-hmm. But
I wonder what Alex does then. What bike do you ride, Alex? Let us know. Yeah,
the side stand is the issue that I said earlier.
Oh, yeah.
If Joe's with me, she'll get off and flick the side stand out sometimes. If it's got like loose gravel or something, and I'm a bit, I don't want to drop it in front of all these people. But,
did you ever see Lamb Chops when Lamb Chops and Womble, they did a tour down around the Pyrenees? I think it was on an old Super Duke? It was on a KTM, I think, or Tuono. What bike was it on? It's the one where Lamb Chops is going, oh, me ass, all the time, that one. And he could never get the side stand down. So every time he stopped and like getting fuel or any time he had to get off the bike, Womble used to have to come running along and put the side stand down for him.
When I did the wheelie school, they use ZX 636s.
Yeah.
I just leant, because they're small, I could lean down with my arm and flick the stand out with my hand.
Yeah,
holding the clutch with this hand, and then I lean down, so that was all right. But the GS is too tall; I can't reach the thing. I need a little gadget, don't I? Like a solenoid. You just press a button, the stand goes
down. It comes. Yeah. How did you find wheelie school? Yeah, Touratech will do it. Come on, Touratech, pull your finger out.
We want a button.
Yeah,
fires it out, fires it back again. So,
you're discriminating against people with disabilities, Touratech. Come on, let's see it. Nippy Normans, get that done.
I did drop my GSA when I rolled it off the centre stand once. Because I'd washed it. Yeah, I washed it, so I put it on the centre stand and I wanted to put it back in the garage. Mm. So I sat aside it and then I rocked it, but it's quite a tall box. It took a few goes of rocking. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then when it went over, it sort of went over to my prosthetic side. And I was just like, it's going. I'm not even going to bother trying to. So I just got out of the way. And down it went. But it's got crash bars and that. But I thought, but I managed to pick it up all right. I just got on the end of the handlebar.
Yeah,
And that's one of the things I picked up when I was watching the BMW guys at the show. He just did the end of the handlebar thing, didn't he? So I just did that, and off it came. I quickly looked around, make sure no one saw me, and then pushed it away. But that's the only time I dropped it. But I don't put it on the centre stand anymore. I just always use the side stand. Or if I do push it off the centre stand, I stand next to it.
Yeah, and then do it.
So then it drops and it leans into me. But that's sort of learning, isn't it? So,
it is. And it's one of those bikes, it's especially the Adventure, it's a big old heavy bike, innit? And if you don't handle it with confidence, then you get yourself in a lot of problems with that.
You got to be the boss.
It doesn't need to go far. Yeah. It doesn't need to go very far off centre, and then that's a lot of weight.
I did I went down to Screwfix, and then when I pulled in, it went over. And then it just went past that point where it's like, and I was in no man's land, and I was straining away. And then I was looking around to see if anyone else is in the car park. I'll call them over just to give me a hand with it. Yeah. And I thought, and then it was slowly going down. And I thought, I don't want to put it down. This is bad. And I don't know where I got it from, but I managed to put it was almost on the cylinder of the crush bar, and I managed to get it upright, but I put my back out.
On your prosthetic side?
No, on my good side. I was thinking, bloody hell. I never would have done that, no. So I had to use my back muscles and my arms, and I pulled my biceps and I pulled my back. But I didn't drop the bike. So you
didn't drop the bike?
No. It's but I've never ridden a GS that I test rode. Though it's a GSA I test rode, so I bought it. So, I like the look of them. I don't buy it. It's because I'm a big bloke. It kind of, I find it suits me. You know what I mean?
Mate, you're preaching to the converted. As everyone knows, I love them. I genuinely love them. Great fun.
There's no way I'd fit on a sports bike now.
You'd be surprised. It'd
be like the motorbike equivalent of a thong for me.
I'm looking at one of the pictures that I posted up off your Instagram account, and you're doing a track day. You're on is that a Kawasaki, the green?
Yeah, it was an RX 1100. That was.
Do you still do track days now?
No, that was the only one I did.
Was it?
My friends going, you got to do a track day. They're brilliant, and I used to go all the time. And I was like, I don't know. So I went, and it was good. But I found that when I first went round, I was riding it like a road. You sort of, So everyone else is just, and they were going past me and stuff. And my friend said, you got to be more swoopy, And then once I started doing, once I sort of started doing that, I got better. But it was good. It was good fun, but it's just not. It's not. I prefer just riding.
Do you? Yeah. It's a different mindset, isn't it? And I'm guilty of that on the track. I tend to ride the lines like I was on the road. Yeah. And as you said, it's totally different. It's totally different, isn't it? But,
they're going white out here, and then they're coming in, and you've got to use all the track and stuff. And I wore through my boot, and it went through, and I actually rubbed away a couple of toes on that track day because I couldn't get the balls of my feet on the peg on that bike. My toe was hanging down, and so that was a pair of boots for. It's probably why I don't do track.
How do you keep your foot, your prosthetic foot, on the peg? Is that just purely through weight? Yeah,
the newer legs are better. They got more. The knees can bend more into itself. It used to get to about here and stop. Now they can go like that. Right. So I can put the ball of my foot on the peg. So I have to lift it on with my hand, and then I just leave it on there. And with a venture bike, it's high up anyway. So
you could get a Panigale then because your knee bends. So you could get the Panigale.
My knee would fit, but my back and my wrist wouldn't.
It's that defeatist attitude, Martin. I don't like that. Come on.
I'd have to put big crosses on it, bars like this.
Have you seen one of my mates sent me a picture. Hang on, let me see if I can. I'll find it on Instagram, and I'll try and I'll bypass all the grot that they've sent me. But can you see that picture? Look at that for a Panigale.
Oh,
can you see it?
Oh, yeah.
That. Oh.
I can admire that, especially Ducatis and MVs. They put so much detail into everything. I find a lot of sports bikes now are just a bit samey, aren't they?
I kind of. I kind of find myself in that place in life where I look at sports bikes. I love sports bikes, but when I ride them, I'm just like, what's the point? Because, literally first gear, and I'm at the speed limit. If I put it in second gear, I'm at 100 mile an hour plus. I love doing that, obviously on a private road. But, it's just, for me now, it's just like, what's the point? Because these things don't come alive till you're at go to jail speeds. Yeah. And I don't want to go to jail, not for riding a motorbike. You know what I mean? It's just like, So I'd much rather ride a bike where I can have fun, low down, makes a bit of noise, makes me feel like I've got big swinging bollocks, and I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, definitely. I did have a ZX12R, and that was a similar thing. Its third gear was over 130, and it's like, you got another 3 after that. It's
Did you see the video, the review of the? Sorry, there's a bit of a delay. It's horrible, isn't it? Did you see that review of the Rocket 3 when I had the Rocket 3?
Yeah, see, I quite like that. I've not ridden one, but that's sort of my sort of thing I'd have.
I really would love to have that for a length of time over the summer, the spring, the summer, autumn, just to see what it's like on dry roads and maybe do a trip on it, have some fun. So
yeah, I think if I had, I'd have to have a sort of more of a garage to have more bikes because predominantly I bought the GSA to go touring with Josie, so we've got luggage and it's comfortable and it's got gadgets on it that I find useful, like cruise control and stuff.
Second best bike in the world, yep. Mm-hmm.
and then the Versys I bought was for that role as well, but it's 40,000 miles now and it's getting up, so I just bought another one, but I kept that one to. The plan is I'd ride that one in the shit weather and stuff, and just if I'm going to work, I'll take that, not the BMW.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I don't. But the only other bike I was interested in was a KTM, which they never got back to me. So
which one? What KTM?
It would have been the Adventure. What is it? The Adventure S, is it? More toury one. They do an R as well, don't they?
Yeah, they've got the new 1290. It's just come out.
Yeah, this would have been the 12 one before it. What's the big white one they did?
I think that was a 1290, but it was the old 1290 engine. The latest one has the new 1290 engine, the Super Duke Gen 3. It's a derivative of that engine. And that engine, honestly, is just amazing. Yeah. It is just amazing.
I know me, it would turn me into a bit of a twat.
Yeah. So, yeah. I was when I was looking at getting a new bike, it was down to KTM or the GS. Yeah. And I did think to myself, well, there's two things. There was the reliability and the customer service off of a KTM dealership that put me off because you hear all the horror stories. Yeah. And I did think to myself, I will enjoy this bike, and this is my job now. I can't afford that. Yeah. So it was like, no, I mean, the 1250. The 1250 is a great bike. It's plenty fast enough.
They lent me a 1250 GS Adventure when mine was in for service and bit of work. And miles difference. The engine's miles better.
I still get people.
I've been trying not to ride one because I know I'd want it. And then, I went there once, and then they said, "Oh, do you need a bike?" And I said, "Yeah." And because I got a Barnstormers, which is 2 hours from me, but they look after
2 hours.
So we'll look up. Yeah, it's 2 hours, isn't it? Because I have to go 272 way along.
Have to do the 272.
But it does get a bit boring because I do it so much. But so it takes about maybe an hour and a half, maybe, if you're having fun. But, so I go out there. So they offered me this 1250 something, and I said no. So they said, well, the only other thing we got is the 650 scooter, and I said no, I'll take that because I didn't want to ride the 1250. But eventually they got me, and I loved it.
I still get people messaging me going, no, there's no difference between the 1200 and the 1250. And I'm like, you obviously are not twisting that throttle because there is.
But the mid range is, the overtaking is just miles more.
Yeah, it is. Love it.
Yeah.
Right, let's stop flying the flag for GS because we'll be losing people in their droves. Dude, I think we've got through all the questions. We've actually managed to get through the questions. Oh, we've done well there.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, job done. So, what's the weekend hold for you?
I don't know, actually. I'm waiting for some bits from Craigie Kawasaki to put my other one back together. So it hasn't turned up, so I won't be doing that.
Are you out on your mega yomps this weekend, or are you taking?
No, I did
off?
a big one today. I did 7.5 today.
Yeah.
So I might have a rest tomorrow, and then get me 20 in by Sunday. It's all getting a bit. It's all the same, isn't it? It's just work. Well, not for you, but yeah, we have to go to work, and then it's the weekend where there's not a lot on, and then it's work again.
Honestly, it's. I will not moan about it in the slightest, but it's a job like any other job.
Yeah.
You know, you get up, you sit, you edit. Occasionally, I might get out on the bike. I'm lucky if I ride. Well, at the moment, obviously, I could still ride because it's my job, but I sort of have made that choice not to, just because I don't want to rub people's noses at it in social media and me out riding on a bike. So I'm just not doing it. But even when I could ride, maybe once a week, I was getting out on the bike. And for me, I was riding 7 days a week before. You know, I rode every day in and out of London. Just that was just life. And all of a sudden, I'm not. So it is a bit weird. But then,
Wouldn't you be riding more when you can, though, because you're getting?
I think it's going to be. I think it will be fits and starts, really, because although I have to produce more. So obviously I've taken on a podcast now, so that takes up time to edit and to to edit the audio, to edit the video, to render the vids and do the promo vid and the social media that goes all around that. So there's a day or two taken up just doing the podcast, and then I try and do 1 or 2 vids a week for the YouTube channel as well. So it can be anywhere from, if it's a trip vid, a trip vid's 5 to 7 days just to do one episode for a trip vid. So I'm trying to shorten the vids, which means the work that goes into them is less, which means you can produce more. So it's just trying to figure out that balance. And then obviously now's the TV shows, that's going to kick off soon as well. Like next weekend we're starting to do some promo stuff. So it's going to be trying to balance everything with that. I'm not complaining because I'm living a dream, so I would never in a million years complain about it. But it's just weird now when you're like, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, and actually, when am I actually going to get out and ride a bike?
Yeah, we're having the cameras on as well. Just have a ride.
I've said in a podcast before that I went to Wales in September with some mates, like my annual boys' holiday. Normally go to Spain, but obviously we couldn't. So we went to Wales, and I made a conscious decision. I'm not going to film it. I'm not going to, because normally when we go to Spain, I'll film it, and I just thought, I'm just going to take time off, and I missed it. I really missed, not having the cameras and chatting shit to myself. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back out on the bike and just get out there and meet up with people, meet new people.
I think there'll be every lockdown, isn't it? There's that mad rush when you're allowed out, and everyone goes out, and you kind of have to let that happen because it's carnage, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So let all that sort of settle down, and then you start.
Yeah, that'll be my plan.
I'll definitely try because I find it quite easy when I go out, is just to go to the same places because I know them and I know how to get there. But yeah, I'm out. Definitely try and make more of a thing of finding somewhere that I don't go. Do that, so get a bit more of a thing.
Well, mate, I tell you, when freedom returns, I'm up. Let's meet up in person.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll do a ride somewhere and have a brew. Well, we're not. No, not at all. Not at all. So awesome. All right, dude. I'm done and dusted. What about yourself?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Have you got anything you want to plug?
No.
Any of the shout outs, as the kids say?
I've got a friend. No, I don't think there's that's all good, really. I just came on just because I thought, wow, if there's someone that, if it helps anyone that's, not saying now, maybe because it'll be on YouTube, they'll pick something up from it. That's all
Absolutely,
good for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's all I'm about. Try and help someone out. Because when I go to hospital, I see there's guys that have paralysed arms, so they have everything on this hand.
Yeah.
How they do that, I don't know. But and there's another guy who had both his lower legs missing, and he had like a bar coming up to do the gears. So it's like a suicide ship on a CBR. Yeah, it's like how you do that, mate? I don't know. But he says because you got no choice, you just do. It's so yeah, I can see where he's coming from. But, yeah,
I suppose you got no other option, do you? You just have to make do with it.
It's always good when you're up there and you see someone come over and crash out because you just end up chatting, talking shit for 3 hours. And,
a special, unique sort of bond, brotherhood, familyhood.
Yeah. And they know exactly what you're on about, and they've done pretty much the same things and the same problems. And so it's good for that.
I'm genuinely chuffed that we've come in contact there, and it's great to have you on. It's been great to hear your story, and I love your positive mindset, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. Got to keep doing it.
Absolutely. I tell you what, do you have your leg there?
I have it on, so I'm wearing it.
All I'm thinking is for the thumbnail to hold it up next to your motorcycle helmet.
Hang on. I can.
Sorry, but that's great with your lip.
It's a handy tabletop when you're in a pub. No bars.
It blocks out against your black t-shirt. You can't see with the black t-shirt behind it.
I could probably. I've got a foot and stuff.
I've got a foot.
And there's a knee joint I can see over there. That's my old hydraulic one. Don't know if you want that.
Just anything that I can use as the thumbnail. That would be awesome.
All right, hang on. Let me go and see what I can get.
Okay, mate. Cheers.
Okay. Is there a foot? I think the foot's in the bedroom. So that's a knee.
Wow.
So that's a hydraulic one. That's the waterproof one. I don't know if you can. Can you see? There's like knobs. I think it's out of focus, probably. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's all out of focus. Yeah.
But there's like it's like a shockers, compression and rebound on the back.
Right.
You can adjust it. Here's one. Here's one I made earlier. That's got a foot on it.
Yeah, that's it. That's brilliant. Yeah, if you turn it the other way so the foot is facing that way. That's brilliant. Yeah, just like that. Spot on. Yeah, and I'll just take a screenshot of that and put that over something. Awesome.
So, normally cool. It's got a cover on it.
I'll edit this little bit out, mate, at the end. I just suddenly thought, that'd be awesome to get something for the thumbnail.
Yeah,
nice one.
So that's so you can.
Oh wow! So is that's the one that's got the microprocessor in it? No,
this is the hydraulic one.
Oh, okay.
So you have to set it all up. So once you've set it, you only get one speed with these.
Right.
If I want to walk fast, I have to wait for this leg to sort of catch up. And that's obviously the shin bit that goes in there.
Wow.
And then the foot goes on the bottom. That twists. So you can, if you're standing and your foot's on the floor, you can twist your hips and the foot stays still. So you get a bit of, it doesn't sort of stick.
What can you remind us? What's the name of that company again?
Ottobock.
Ottobock. Come on, people. Ottobock. Ottobock, reach out. Let's make this happen.
That's a socket. So,
right.
So the knee goes in there. And then that is moulded to me.
Right. Gotcha.
But this one leaks. So that's
Can
It's all
I
in bits.
can I ask if there's anyone out there that's going through this at the moment?
Yeah, sure.
Are you willing for them to drop you a line?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Cool.
Or
That's
if they're bike adaptations.
yeah.
So that's my colour.
Gotcha. Yeah, the picture of you that had like the Christmas tree lights, all the different lights, is that it? Yeah, there it is. There,
the battery back in there. It's the same as that's in there.
That got quite a lot of comments.
Yeah, that's I remember I went to see Josie. She was on a course, and we'd walked down to this pub. It was in Wiltshire somewhere, and it was pitch black. And we came out. We had to walk up a little lane, and I thought, I'll switch my lights on so it's a bit more visible. And then this voice out of the darkness went, "Mate, that's awesome." Cheers, mate. Yeah. I put it with a Christmas one, yeah.
Well, folks, if you are maybe going through what Martin's gone through and you want to reach out, bit of advice or whatever reason, just drop Martin a line on Instagram's probably the best place, isn't it? At Yoxall. There'll be links down below, so give him a follow. You can drop my DM or whatever. Top man, that's very kind of you, Martin. Thanks for that. Instagram's
really good for like amputee stuff. And
yeah,
there's lots of it on there if you search for like arms, legs, all sorts. And there's people crazier than me doing stuff. Have you seen the guy with no arm wheeling a motorbike? And he has so he's got it all on this hand, so his throttle and his clutch is on his left hand, and he's like, it looks like he's in India or something, and he's got no arm from about here, so he has a bit of string on the other handlebar. It loops around behind his shoulder, and he does these monster wheelies on this thing, and he's just like,
wow.
I don't know how I could send it to you, but
that's phenomenal. Well, there used to be the Australian guy that raced, wasn't it? And he had no no left or no right arm and leg.
He had the number half. He sadly passed away now.
He did, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I was friends of him on Facebook.
Were you?
Yeah, he actually raced with Mick Doohan in one thing.
Wow.
Yeah, he did that.
And there was,
before he passed away. Yeah.
What they called the British True Heroes Racing in BSB. Murray Hambro? Is that it? Yeah, it is Murray Hambro. I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Who they're all like services, military personnel that have lost limbs. Yeah, they had the team there. Yeah, it's amazing what people are doing.
There's one guy on Instagram. He drilled a hole in his foot and he has a pin on the peg, and he puts the pin in the hole in the foot, which in his boot as well.
That keeps it on the peg.
But he has a snazzy leg that's got like shock absorbers in it. It's no good for walking, but you can use it for cycling and skiing and stuff because it can bend and take the things. And he has that, and he has his leathers made to measure leathers. He doesn't have them from mid-thigh down. He has this leg on show, and he's got a knee slider attachment on the actual leg itself. And he races around on a ZX-10R. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So it's good for that sort of stuff.
I am in awe of you. I love your positive mindset. I genuinely do. It's great to chat with you. It's great to speak with people like yourself.
Yeah, and I get a bit embarrassed when people say, "Oh, yeah, what are you doing that?" Because to me, it's just being me. But I'll take it on board.
Well, I'm sure there will be people either right now or, as you said, in the future, who find themselves in a similar situation. Yeah. And if they can get anything positive out of listening to you, then we've done our job, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Yeah. Man. Well, I look forward to the day that we can meet in person.
Yeah, for sure.
We can have that beer or have that cup of brew, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You're already part of the clan, so I will get them kicked off as soon as we possibly can, and we'll do some meetups.
Yeah, that would be good.
Awesome.
I did think about the Wild Bad Weekender thing, but
that's a scream. That's a good laugh.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be a busy one.
Yeah, I probably might leave it for a year, so everything settles down.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy one. If it goes ahead this year, it's going to be a busy one this year.
Yeah, I think, and there's quite a lot that's carried over, isn't it? Like the ABR festival and stuff.
Again, that'll be a busy one, yeah. So, definitely.
I'll wait for it all to settle down before I pencil my name in for stuff. Have a good weekend then.
And you, man, keep doing what you're doing on Instagram. It's I love seeing the posts. So
I try and, because I haven't been going out, I haven't really been adding to it. So I don't want to fill it up with just this is me doing a walk again.
Mate, it gives so many people inspiration. Honestly,
I try and just do it. It works. Stories, but I'm not very techie on it, so
I keep all my fitness, my sort of training rowing stuff just on stories. I don't put it on the main posts.
No. Yeah, if I hit a milestone, I'll put it on because it's kind of like a diary as well, isn't it? So in 5 years' time, maybe I'll look at that and I'll go, no, I walked. But I want to hit 10 miles. It's my target. And then move on from that. But,
awesome. Cool. Well, folks, as we said before, make sure that you follow Martin and DM him. If there's anyone out there that works for the final time, the name of that leg company?
Otto Bock.
Otto Bock. Come on, we've got to make this happen.
Genium X3. That's my dream.
That's the one he's after. So let's make that happen. Dude, thank you so much for coming on. I genuinely appreciate that, and thank you very much for your support over in the clan as well. It is heartfelt. Thank you very, very much.
No problem.
All right, mate. Look after yourself. Keep doing your thing.
I've got to buy. I've got to get a Nationals t-shirt.
Nationals. I'll get you one. So, I'll send you one.
No, I'll buy it.
No. I'll send you one. Least I can do.
Because every time I see the signs, it must be like 100 other people. Like in my head, I go,
Nationals. My work here is done. Mate, I will get one to you. I'll get one to you. Don't worry.
No, I'll buy it. It's all right.
Don't be daft.
It all goes to the cause, doesn't it?
It does, man. It does.
So.
Cool. All right, folks. What can we say? We are. I think we're on the homeward stretch, don't you? I genuinely think we are. We're working towards the horizon now. I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we're starting to see a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, hope you've enjoyed this one. I hope you found it as inspirational as I have. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, Martin. Folks, keep on doing your thing. Keep on looking after those that you love. Get on out there whenever you can. But most importantly, live your life. Woo-ha! Dude, cheers for that, man.
No worries.
Thank you.
I'll enjoy the rest of my beers now.